I come to you all with a question today. What separates us humans from the rest of life on Earth? Is it that we work with tools to build great structures? Well, no. Otters can use rocks to open up their food, and prairie dogs can build complex towns underneath the ground. Is it perhaps that we are capable of making food, like this Twinkie? Well, plants have found how to make food for itself way before we did. Truly, the thing that separates us from the rest of life is our complex language systems. Sure, animals can warn each other of danger nearby or not to eat a certain poisonous food, but can they discuss the meaning of life, reminisce on childhood memories together, or even teach each other how to make a Twinkie? As an instructor, communication is fundamental to building relationships with your students, especially in higher education. Communication helps us as individuals find common ground in our knowledge, which leads to understanding and mutual respect for the roles each of us take up. If you think back to your education in life, did you enjoy the class you took or the career you found yourself in because of a teacher who didn't understand you? A teacher who you disliked? Of course not. We were built up because of the positive influences in our lives. A teacher or professor who made a difference in your life or career. You may have chatted outside of class about what's going on in each other's lives, shared fun stories, were acknowledged or remembered outside of class, or they were just there to listen to you. Because of this meaningful connection, if you want to put more respect into your studies, because of this meaningful connection, it made you want to put more respect into your studies or simply enjoyed your classes more. Now, as an instructor yourself, you can do the same for your students. You can be the person they look up to, give them the same spark for the subject as you do, or even increase their joy towards the subject. There are many practices you can do to build rapport with learners in your classes. The first is just to make learning fun. Give students a reason to be excited to come into your class, whether that is a learning game or an activity that gets them more involved than just sitting at their desk doing worksheets or listening all day. You can get them involved in the learning process by answering questions to a problem aloud or having a group discussion to talk with fellow classmates. There may sometimes be hundreds of students in your class, so it may be impossible to establish a deep connection with all of them. So, even if you're able to show that you're there for them, learn all of their names, or even try to learn one thing they are passionate about, it will go a long way. To further build rapport, it's important to learn the needs and interests of your students. The best way to do this is to get creative with it. Have them work on a project or talk in a class about things that they are passionate about and why. I put an emphasis on why because why is an important word. You chose this career path, I see that, but why did you choose it? If you have them give a presentation or speech in a language or communication class, make sure they give a why they are talking about the topic they are talking about. Why did I originally bring up Twinkie specifically? Well, I thought it would be fun to have a prop on stage with an object anyone can recognize. It has some significance to me. My dad loved the movie Zombieland, and the plot was to find a Twinkie for one of the characters. I also just want an excuse to eat this day. But see what I mean? There's something charming about figuring out the why of something. Conduct exercises and games, tell stories, but make sure you find the treasure trove of why. Now, there may be times in your life where you interact with people whose viewpoints differ from your own, including your students. This may be difficult for some people. Their views may frustrate or irritate those who are passionate about a different viewpoint. Though you must remember to stay professional. We can look at this issue through the lens of an instructor. Think of it as less of, you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about, to a mindset of, you are educated but wrongly educated, and let me show you why. Or, that's an interesting viewpoint. Let's talk about that and try to both learn something from this. This is a more productive mindset and you'll gain so much more out of it. An example of this in my personal life is being asked how I can apply a Christian worldview to the classroom to support culture and diversity. I've gone to Grand Canyon University for several years now, a predominantly Christian school, except for me. You could categorize me as atheist or agnostic, but I've never been one for labels, except one, human. My job, before all else, is to be a human to others, to give them respect and treat them with dignity. While I may have disagreements with the Bible, I find a passage that will always stick out to me. Do to others what I would have them do to me. This golden rule is profound in showing that we find ourselves in others. If I hurt him, it would be as if I hurt myself. If I were to attack and belittle her beliefs, I would be doing the same to me. In your classroom, see your students as extensions of yourself. Care for them, because you were just like them, with a fervor to learn. Show them respect, show them that you care, teach them anything you are capable of teaching them, and yes, even teach them how to make a Twinkie. Thanks, everybody.